Hello ladies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is JAKS, and this is a channel where I share my infertility, IVF, adoption, parenting, and now pregnancy journeys, all the while trying to throw in some facts, science, knowledge so that you feel better about making decisions in your own journey. Today is my 8-week pregnancy update. For these updates, I usually go over 3 major categories: what's going on with baby, what's going on with me, and what is up with my husband. For today's update though, I would highly recommend watching last week's update since there was some big news that hit, and I'll be referencing that throughout this video. So let's kick off with the baby update. They are still under an inch in length. They're the size of a tiny blue butterfly, or around the size of a cherry. And this week, their eyelids are forming and fusing shut, their heart is dividing into 4 chambers, but most of the major body organs are there. And at our ultrasound at 9 weeks, 4 days, they were measuring exactly on track. So that's good to hear. That's 2 ultrasounds in a row where they are measuring exactly to the day on track. At that ultrasound, their heart rate was 181 beats per minute, which is great, totally in range for what we would expect during 9 weeks. And while there is spontaneous movement, and we even saw a tiny bit of it on the ultrasound, I am weeks and weeks away from actually feeling any of that. So let's move on to the mommy update and a more comprehensive update of what has happened in the last 2 weeks. I'm sure you noticed I did not post an 8-week update. I just didn't have a lot to update on, or didn't feel like it, because I was still really worried. We had not had our follow-up ultrasound yet, and I just felt it was silly to sit there and talk about my symptoms when I didn't know exactly what was going on. So if you watched last week's update, or you've been following me on Instagram, then you know that at 7 weeks, 4 days, we had a massive bleed. I passed a massive blood clot. We went in the next day, and they were able to confirm that little baby was still good, still growing on track, but I did have a subchorionic hematoma. Essentially, the yolk sac had separated from the uterus wall and essentially just left a wound. That's all it is, about 2 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So not huge in the world of hematomas, but definitely it bled a lot, which was concerning. And I went on 2 weeks of pelvic rest and just general rest, not doing any exercise, sitting and laying as much as I could to try to stop that bleeding, giving it time to kind of not scab over. I'm sure it doesn't scab over, but stop actively bleeding. Over the last few weeks, I've had some spotting, mostly brown, a little bit of red blood, but nothing as significant, but it's always worrying, when every 3-4 days you're bleeding, you think it's stopped and it just hasn't. So I went into this ultrasound still worried, not knowing what was going on, and scared because this was kind of the last big milestone we needed to get over. Or one of the last ones before we've reached a point where we've gotten past our points of loss before. So I think our scheduling was a little different last pregnancy than this one. So I have an appointment in 4 weeks to go back in, and then that'll officially get us farther along than we have ever been. So this was a big one though, because this is the last ultrasound. They won't do another ultrasound. Anyway, went in, had to go in alone. One of my friends was just, the stars aligned. Man, she texted me right while I was in the waiting room, like, hey, when's your appointment? I hope you're feeling okay, good vibes, right? And that's the best you can do. Like, don't fish for gossip, just send support. I think that's the best way to articulate how to support someone doing this. Like, don't ask for information, just send support. So anyway, and I was like, hey, good timing. I'm actually in the waiting room. She's like, oh, okay. Deep breaths. And I was like, thank you, because it's exactly what I needed at that moment. I was starting to have a panic attack. Obviously, partners aren't allowed into the waiting room or the doctor's office anymore. Even for my husband to come into the ultrasound, like, he had to get a password. Like, I had to get to the ultrasound room, text him a password, then he could come up. They sneak him in a back way. He's just there for the ultrasound, then he has to peace out. So anyway, it's just a whole process. So I was sitting there alone, and while this office was leaps and bounds better than the other office, I was also in a better state. Let's be real. It was just still hard to sit there and not panic. My heart rate was 100. I was sitting in a chair, my heart rate was 100, which is about 30 beats per minute faster than my resting heart rate. So I was nervous. But that tech was really understanding. First of all, she knew about my losses, which I feel like somehow that gets lost so much in the OB's office. They're asking about your history or don't even look at it at all. And so it was really nice that she's like, okay, this is your third pregnancy. You've had 2 losses. And I was like, thank you for just knowing that and not making me have to tell you. Anyway, so she's like, well, let's get started with the boring measurements, and then your husband can come in for the baby measurements. I was like, no, I can't. It's a big trigger. She's like, okay, I'll go wait for him. And she immediately darted out of that room. I'm sure she was busy. I'm sure it was an inconvenience, but I just still really need that support. Anyway. Point is, everything's measuring on track, baby's measuring on track, heart rate's on track, and my subchorionic hematoma stayed the same size. So it's still there, but it was measuring to the millimeter within what the other tech had measured. There was no active blood flow, because they can look at that. On the ultrasound, there was no active blood flow, and everything looked okay. So that's kind of the middle ground, kind of what we were hoping for as far as that. And now we just watch it, and we hope it just kind of flattens out and goes away, or stops causing problems, stops, bleeding at all. So yeah, that was the big ultrasound update. I know that's probably why you're all here, so I wanted to get that out of the way right at the beginning, that everything is okay. As of now, it's not great to have a hematoma, but mine stopped bleeding, so we count it as a win and kind of move on. All right, now back to the normal updates for this. Weight-wise, I'm weighing it at 147.7 this morning. So my average weight is trickling down just a smidge, hovering in the 147s instead of the 148s. I don't know, I'm eating less. It could literally just be how much food is in me at any given time. Not too worried. My stomach is popping. I don't know if it's because I completely lack abs, or if this is my third time getting to this stage in pregnancy, but my stomach definitely looks different. Mostly it feels different though. Normally if it was Poogie, you could just poke it and it'd go back, but now it's still really firm. So I am measuring at 28 inches. So we are starting to get some expansion. It's not just all in my head. Boob wise, my boobs decided to just get a half cup size bigger and then piece out of that game, which is just annoying. So that's cool. You can see I'm rocking my sports bra. So I still need to figure out the bra situation. Did manage to get some maternity clothes, 17 pieces for $20, which I thought was a great deal. Thanks, Facebook Marketplace. Let's see, nausea, still there, not great. Literally before this video, I was lying on my bed, trying not to throw up. So I ate a peppermint. We're cool, we're fine, it's all fine. Fatigue, I've just, like I said, I've given into it. I sleep a bunch. I don't have, I'm more hormonal. I am. I'll freely admit that. The husband will confirm that. I am hormonal. I have zero patience for literally anyone or anyone's problems. It's almost comical, except it's my life, so it's not. But I think it's just a combination of I've been so tired and so nauseous for so long. I'm I just don't care. Anything to make this stop, right? As I'm filming this, because I am exactly 10 weeks today, today is my last PIO shot. I'm so excited. I did my quintessential needle around the onesie photo shoot yesterday. Today is the last shot. I get to pack those up and throw it out. I'm just so excited. I know some people are really nervous about quitting the meds. I'm not. I am excited. I just want them done. So ready to be done. And some other highlights from that doctor's visit though. We went over all the basic stuff. I won't bore you with that, but I thought it was interesting that I have some extra things that happen because this is an IVF pregnancy. The first one is my 20-week anatomy scan gets upgraded to a detailed anatomy scan with an echocardiogram because IVF babies are just a slightly higher risk for heart defects and formation defects overall. So I get bumped out to the hospital to go get a detailed echocardiogram and anatomy scan. And then starting at 28, 32, one of those, I start getting growth scans because IVF babies are also slightly more prone to growth restrictions. So those happen every 4 weeks, I believe. I'm gonna have to go double check on my cute little pamphlet. that was just some extra stuff that I hadn't really known about. I don't have any genetic screening tests, the 10-week ones that would normally happen right now, because I know they're genetically normal and I already know the gender. So kind of not a point in that. I did go and get all my other routine blood work, blood typing, rubella stuff, and I got my flu shot. Go get your flu shot. That is all with me. Like I said, I will eventually get the husband to come sit down and do these updates, but I'm actually filming this during the workday. Sorry. So he is actually on a call right now, so I can't snag him, but I'm sure his update would revolve around the fact that I mostly peace out of dinner now. I just don't do dinner. He just kindly tells me, it's gonna be okay. Just as if he's saying it to himself as much as me. And he also is like being my like moral compass now when I'm like real insensitive, not insensitive to my friends, but just like real, I don't care about anything. He's like, hey, you might wanna like give something back to them. It's like, oh, good point. Like I still want friends after this first trimester. Good point. But otherwise, he's been really supportive. Definitely, you know, it's hard because he's working quite a bit, and then I feel cruddy, and then Evangeline is one, man. Like, she needs a lot. So it's been a fun little adjustment. We are trying to get there as a couple, like trying to get pumped about this, trying to take some positive step forward. He's being really supportive of keeping me kind of grounded in what's likely. And I think it was someone in the comments actually here said it's very helpful to have the motto of things are most likely going to work out. And I really like that. I hate when people tell me it's gonna be okay, because you don't know that and I can disprove that and things haven't been okay. So I really liked that motto instead. So thank you, whoever sent that to me. The phrase things are most likely gonna be okay has really been helpful, especially in these last 2 weeks, knowing that most people with hematomas go on to have successful pregnancies, and you know, most PGS normal IVF pregnancies turn out okay, and like things like that have been helping me. So anyway, that's a thank you to everyone who has been really supportive. Anyway, I think I have babbled long enough. If you'd like to join the journey, then you can go ahead and subscribe down below. I do put out videos every Monday and sometimes Thursday. It depends. Am I on the couch too nauseated to get up? Who knows? It's fun times. All right, until next time, ladies, keep on fighting. Mwah!